Alright, I don't know about you guys, but I thrown in pretty much done with Deandre. And that's a pretty rare thing for me to say. I mean, we've had some frustrating role players over the past few years, so even the past decade now. DLO obviously could be hard to watch at times. Ken Bazemore, so on and so forth. Many hard to watch role players that would do some weird things, but I don't think any of them have been harder to watch and harder to root for than Deandre did. I mean, especially going from what he did during the first month to nearly the first 2 months to then dropping off a cliff after that point to now, we're getting reports of him saying that they're treating me like Clint Capella, complaining about touches, complaining about his role with the team, jogging back on defense, putting in little to no effort, and simply doing the stuff that every other team that got rid of him pointed out that he did and fans point out that he did is what he has become with the Lakers. Heck, even Clint Capella himself called out Deandre on Instagram last night, saying that you got two of the best floor generals in the entire game. My dog Locke in response to the reported quote from Dave McMenon that said that Deandre is complaining about that they're trying to make me Clint Capella. So yeah, at this point it's pretty much a lost hope but lost cause. I wish it weren't. I'm usually the minutes in the court, post a -24, the worst in their team by far. In borderline, a must-win simply delusion at the very worst and cautious optimism at the very best. If you're joining the Lakers team and trying to revive your career, you're not coming here and looking for more touches. Yes, I think they probably should involve him more. They could maybe benefit offensively by getting him more involved. Even get more out of him by getting him more involved. But again, you're not going to prioritize Deandre Den above any one of Luka, LeBron, Austin, heck, even a guy like Rua Chimera within their offense. That's not going to happen. And that never was going to happen. So, he should know that too. Yes, he might complain about becoming Clint Capella in regard to an offensive role they fill with their team. Them wanting him to be the physical guy around the rim, the hard worker, the effort guy that gets putbacks, simply kind of benefits from playing off of Luka, LeBron, and Austin, the playmakers around him. That's what they wanted. And that's even what Deandre didn't claim he would do, the role that he would buy into simply playing off of them and being their defensive anchor, quote-unquote, a direct quote from himself that he made. Yeah, he's gone entirely against that. And now it's a night and day difference. Unfortunately, in a bad way, not a good way. So again, at this point, what do? Should they bench him? Yes. Again, I think they should bench him in favor of Jackson Ace. Not entirely remove him from the rotation, but taking a step in that direction, sending a message to him, sending a message to their entire team. If you're not putting in effort, then you're going to get less playing time and a direct emotion. Not only that, but should they maybe send him home, maybe even working out a contract? Bio with him before the March 1st playoff eligibility deadline and then find a replacement? Whether that's a current free agent, maybe still a bio market candidate that might hit the open market or even somebody on their G League team. I think everything has to be on the table here and everything should be on the table in regard to demoting, replacing, and sending a message to Deandre as this is simply not acceptable. So with that in mind here, beginning with the benching and what they should do first. In my opinion, yes, they should demote him. I think that Hayes should be starting and Ayton should be coming off the bench. If he doesn't like that and if you throw a major fit, then simply work out a contract buyout. We can't have that on the team. The Lakers can't hope to have that if they're going to make any kind of playoff run. After all, even with the terrible way they've been playing lately, they are still a top 6 seed. They are still a team that should make the playoffs, should avoid the play-in tournament, if they even have a semblance of getting back on track here, which I don't think they can do with Deandre as their starting center, at least not with the way he's played for literally 3 months now. And in my opinion, there is little to no hope of him getting back on track. So maybe demoting him would send him a message and somehow rejuvenate him, somehow would get him back on track even a little bit. That's maybe the only thing we can hope for, as simply doing nothing, trying to ignore the problem and letting him keep his starting role is obviously not helping. So that cannot continue in my opinion. After that point again, if he would throw fit, if he would get mad at that and completely check. Actually be an answer to replace Satan in regard to an effort upgrade and a guy that simply would work harder than Deandre did. Again, we're looking and they should be looking for a guy that rebounds, works hard, plays defense, and does all that without getting touches offensively. And for both Charles Bassey and Chris Butch, I think they do that better than Deandre Denver. At least they're much more consistent, albeit maybe not as talented. Hell, in regard to that, I think the Lakers might even have a better option on their G League team on their self-paid Lakers team. Roughly a few weeks ago, they traded for a center from a different G League team. This player being Malik Williams, a 6 feet 11 inches, 250-pound center and kind of a hybrid big man that's not your traditional center. Actually plays more at the three-point line than he does around the rim. But even with that and not always being around the rim, he's probably a harder worker than Deandre. This season, crafting nearly 10 rebounds per game and 27 minutes per game, even while attempting 5 3-point shots per game, albeit at only a 31.5% clip. So, pointing to their free agent options, and what they might be able to get in regard to an effort upgrade, in regard to simply a rejuvenation of life, effort, defense, and a guy that's more committed without getting touches offensively. They could replace Deandre Ayton, and I don't think they would be much worse without him. In fact, they might become better. As again with the numbers, they do say the Lakers have been better. Whenever Ayton has been off the court, whether it's Hayes on the court instead of him, both Kleba and Hayes, or even without all three of Hayes, Ayton or Kleba, the Lakers been better too, posting a +4 net rating without Descender on the court. It's simply with Ayton on the court that they have been worse throughout the entire season. And at this point, I have little to absolutely no hope that he can get back to where he once was. So, in my opinion, they got to make a change with him. Whether that's benching him, sending him home, or even potentially waiving him, working out a contract buyout, or simply getting him to decline his player option for next season, they got to do something here to send a message. But those are only my thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. How do you feel about the Deandre Ayton report? Him comparing himself to Clint Capella and not being happy about that. Deandre Ayton's impact going down consistently over quite some time now, and what the Lakers should do about it. Should they bench him? Should they send him home? Should they waive him? Work out a contract buyout? What should they do? And how far should they take that? Let me know your thoughts and what route you would take in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one. And if you enjoyed the video, then I would greatly appreciate it if you drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.